Hey Dad, what's a boner?
Yo, what's up? What's up? How's everybody doing out there? It's your boy Gregorio for the Flocking Fathers podcast. And I was just getting a little bit excited this morning for this evening. I'm a big MMA fan, and this evening we got Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier fighting for the heavyweight title. It's a rubber match. So, yeah. And then we got Sugar Sean and Chito Vera, I think his name is, on the co-main event. So it's gonna be a pretty exciting night of fights. Like I mentioned, I'm a big MMA fight fan. So, well, I'll just all fights. I like boxing. I like MMA. When I can watch it, kickboxing is good. But I think MMA is my first love. Trained a little bit, but I wouldn't call myself, any type of good in any type of discipline. But I enjoy it. Trying to get me and my little man back into jiu-jitsu, and yeah, I want him to be able to protect himself. I want his sister to get into it once she gets a little bit older. I just watched this awesome video, and I actually reposted it on my personal page. You could check me out at Greg Armijo. But this girl's just wrecking all of her guy friends, probably high school, late high school or something like that. And she is just, I think she rolls with like 6 guys on just outside, like on a grassy area. She's just triangle choking him, arm barring him, rear naked choke. Man, this girl she was nuts, and she embarrassed all of her guy friends. So, yeah, pretty much just put the smack down, and she sat on top of him and was like, "Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?" And they were like, you are," because she had them wrapped up, anaconda, pretty much like an anaconda. But anyway, so yeah, good fights. I can't pick, especially the main event, I can't pick either of the peeps because I really like and respect both of them, both of their styles. It's a 1-1, battle right now. Daniel Cormier knocked Stipe out the first fight, if you're not a fight fan, and Stipe won the last fight with some vicious body shots in the 4th round. He was actually losing the whole fight, and he put Daniel Cormier out by a TKO. I don't want to pick the fight. If I did have to pick the fight personally, I usually get this like gut feeling because I don't bet on any of the fights, but I had this gut feeling, and I do think normally when I have that gut feeling, that person's gonna win. So don't quote me on this, don't go bet on it, but I do think that with a smaller cage, Daniel Cormier is going to just wrestle the shit out of Stipe, and it's probably going to be a pretty boring fight. At least might start out with some fireworks, but it's probably going to be pretty boring. Daniel's not going to let him get a ton of those body shots in. It looked like he was in really good shape on the countdown, and also in the weigh-ins. Stipe's no joke, and I guess he's got a little bit of wrestling pedigree, so if he can stop some of those takedowns, it might be a better fight than I'm thinking, but we'll see. I'm probably gonna have to go somewhere. I'm not sure if I'm gonna want to drop the dollars on it just to see some dude lay on some other guy and ground and pound him, even though that is a big part of the sport, but it's also not as exciting to watch or pay for. So what have you all been doing this week? I've been working and taking care of my little man doing school, which has been motherfucking hard. And I emphasis on the fucking hard part. He just doesn't want to sit down. He doesn't want to do anything I tell him. I think people talk about the fucking terrible twos and the terrible threes maybe. This little man is the terrible fives, dude. He's an awesome kid. I love him to death, but it's hard sometimes to love him. I'll just leave it at that. No, but for real, he's difficult when it comes to the school thing. He just doesn't want to sit still. And we have him set up right now on our kitchen table, and I'm set up in the room, like slash office. So it's hard for me to kind of get back and forth. We're a full-time working family, and yeah, so it's hard to get back back and forth to deal with him. But hopefully next week will be better. We'll see. I'm wanting him. I think this online school is tough. He's a kindergartner. I mean, he wants to run and play and socialize and not be strapped down to a seat. He wants to be dancing his ABCs and his 1, 2, 3s. And he doesn't want to sit at a table and a desk talking to a bunch of squares. He want and by squares I don't mean a bunch of square kids or teacher. I mean, she could be kind of square, but I mean, he doesn't want to talk to a bunch of squares on a screen. These kids are meant for being outdoors and running around, and it sucks. Speaking of which, I got someone that DM'd me and wanted me to talk about this subject, wanted me to talk about what are we doing with our kids when, now that they have no interaction, essentially, no interaction with other kids, especially if they don't have siblings their age. My children's gap is like 5 years, and his sister right now is 4 months old. So, yeah, I mean, he doesn't have any of that. And unfortunately, it's a bummer because sometimes I feel like I get too frustrated on the stuff that he wants to do. And I'm working during the week, and when I get off work, it's like I want to, work on the podcast. I want to work on other things that I've got going on. Or sometimes I just want to veg out. I try getting in my workout, putting in the work in the middle of the day. But if I don't, I need to get it in the afternoon, which both suck balls because it's 115,000 degrees now here in Arizona. I mean, I swear I'll jump rope for 2 minutes and I'm sweating, and it makes it a lot harder to work out too. Fuck. I mean, people think that the high elevation works, and I'm sure it does as far as lungs and stuff go, like lung capacity. But man, working out in the heat just drains you. And I'm not directly even in the heat. Sometimes I'll do my sprints and stuff out in the sun, and my jump rope. But if I'm hitting the bag or doing some circuit training, it's usually under the patio. I have some mats and stuff set out there, and I like doing that. Granted, I don't have any training partners, so my bags are my training partners, and my giant 200-pound tire that I have out there, which I can't flip because I don't want to fucking burn my hands. But anyway, so this interaction, they need that. They need to be able to go out, interact with other kids, and I think that's the big part of school. It's the socialization. Though you want to learn and we really want to point them in that direction, but when you're this young, I mean, I really just want him to get a good foundation and a good base, and I want him to meet a bunch of people. Some of these people might be friends for the rest of his life. I met a dude in kindergarten who I actually have a picture of, came to my kindergarten birthday party, and granted we didn't link up again till fourth or fifth grade, but he ended up being my friend for a long time. I would still consider him like an acquaintance, not necessarily a good friend, but me and one of my boys introduced him to his wife, or reintroduced him. They dated in high school, but then me and my boy moved out to Phoenix, and the friend of mine was in Utah, but he came out to visit us. We linked up with her, hung out, and shit, the rest is history. Started dating again, I guess, serious dating, and they're married. No kids, but they're married now. And so I mean, I think that's the big thing, is he's gonna meet a lot of the people that he may be friends with for the rest of his life. Hell, I mean, he may just, put these people aside and never speak to him again. But that's my boy too. He's social. He had like 2 girlfriends supposedly last last year, and he likes that. He likes being out with them, and I think just the kids. He calls them girlfriends, but I mean, maybe he really thought they were girlfriends. He did give one of them a spider ring. I mean, when you give someone a spider ring, you're locked down. So I don't think any of the other boys were trying to roll in and take that. But you never know. My boy's got some hands too, and he'll swing them. Believe me, he's done it on me. Yep. And it didn't feel too good. So if he's swinging on some 5-year-old, I'm proud of him. Just kidding. I am proud of him for defending himself in any way, shape, or form. But no, in no way do we condone violence or want him or anybody in my household to hurt anyone. But don't tell my wife, because I feel like she hurts me all the time. But yeah, so please DM me with your suggestions as far as this goes. Other than, taking a lot of time out of your day as a parent, especially when you're a working parent, to be able to go and run outside. I just fixed my bike, so we'll be able to bike together, which I enjoy. He just learned how to bike. Like I mentioned, I think in one of the other podcasts, I think he meant like couple 2 or 3 months ago. Now he's jumping off curbs, he's skidding, he's doing everything that a young man should on his bike. So we go to the park, we'll run around. Yeah, we're babysitting a friend's dog right now, which is even another distraction. The dog is awesome. I'm not a huge dog fan. I just had a bad experience with some big dogs when I was younger, and it's not a big dog fan. I actually get a little bit afraid of them, especially if they're larger dogs. A lot of dogs are really protective of their homes too, so if I go into someone's house and the dog's like freaking out, I have to put my wife in front of me. I have to be like, get him away. And they said that I guess showing dominance is a big thing with dogs, but I don't know. I really like the way bullies look, and I would totally, I think in my mind I would get one of those dogs. Like I love the dog from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and if you haven't seen the movie, you need to check it out. But this dog is awesome. My dog could listen to me, and I know you can train them and things like that, but I mean, who has time and money for that? I mean, you definitely, I'm sure it's a lot of money. It's also a lot of money to care for a dog when you're already caring for multiple kids. It's, if they ever get sick, you need to get, I guess now they have pet insurance, but I mean, if they ever get sick, if you get a dog that sheds, that to me is probably one of the worst things. Is you get a dog that sheds, you're always having to fucking vacuum and clean shit up. I don't want to be able to lay on my couch and I get fucking, what if my mouth's open and I get hair in my mouth or something like that? I'm not looking forward to that. But anyway, we're babysitting my friend's dogs, and she's an awesome dog. She, super obedient, doesn't, jump on the bed or jump on the couches. Her masters, so you call them anymore? Owners? Masters? Anyway, her owners did right by her. I think I got her as like a hand-me-down dog too. But yeah, she's a sweet dog. So we're taking care of her, and it's just another distraction. Though when he's on his break and his recess and stuff like that, I think she's a good distraction because they create a little bit of a bond. The friends who are her owners, they're really close with us, and our son goes over there and they babysit him, and he always comes back saying, I want to do doggy daycare, because he hangs out with this dog. Her name's Lucy. So he hangs out with Lucy consistently over there and is able to run around. They have this huge backyard, so he's able to run around and enjoy his time with her. Our backyard's not as big. I'm thinking Lucy doesn't like it that much. But we went on a walk the other day, put my baby in my daddy carrier, but Joey was, rolling with us, and we went down to a little like grassy area. Dog, pissed and shit. I made sure to pick up the shit. Just for all you people out there, I do know that dog park etiquette. And then we came back. The dog was worn out. The kids were worn out. So that was nice. But she's also a distraction in a way, because he'll be sitting on his Chromebook and he wants to get up and down already, and then the dog's there. Can't put her outside for too long of a period of time because it's, again, like a fucking oven outside. I don't want her to turn into a Lucy cookie. So yeah, I mean, it's difficult. Any type of distraction. I'll be in a meeting and he'll run up and, Dad, something happened with my book. Something happened with my computer. And it's just something like clicked on there, and that you could click off. And I think he knows that too, but I don't know. I think maybe this was the problem with him not using tablets or technology when he was younger. We wanted him to be able to be active and not always be on his tablet or his... essentially, we didn't use those things as a babysitter. He does like TV. But he, again, like I mentioned in another podcast, he doesn't like any type of cartoons or anything like that. Like, I can't sit down and watch Despicable Me or Aladdin or Little Mermaid or anything like that with him. Even some of the Pixar, the newer ones, Onward. I can't do anything like that because he won't sit down through them. He loves these adult, like, grown kid shows, I guess you would say, stuff that you would think a 10-year-old and up, 9-year-old and up will watch. And I don't ever know. And he's watched all the episodes and then rewatches all the episodes, and it's 2 shows. So he'll want to sit down and be like, Dad, come and watch this with me. And I just can't do it. I'm like, no, I hate this. I literally hate these shows to my core. I don't want to watch them. So we split, TV times, I guess. One bad thing I'm doing, and I don't know if it's that bad because it's right there and it's accessible to him, is during the day, during his breaks, or when he's on lunch, I'll let him watch TV. Sometimes it could be hard to pull him away. And I don't want TV to be my son's best friend. We don't know anybody, at least in our area, that has kids his same age. I could move back to my hometown potentially, and he has cousins. He has cousins the same age. He has a lot of people out there that he could hang out with. But the problem is, I don't necessarily know if I want to move back to my hometown. This is my home, the big Ep.6, and I've been here for 15 years, I think, something like that. Graduated ASU, go Devils. Fuck U of A. Yeah, I'm sure they give you a good education, but fuck their sports teams. And yeah, so I don't know. He doesn't really have anybody his own age, or we don't have any friends of kids his own age. Many. I think we have one friend, maybe 2, and we don't see them very often. Sometimes on fight nights, things like that, but we don't see him very often. We should probably make more of an effort to get his friends over here. But I don't know. Entertaining is really not my bag. I don't like our place for entertaining. I don't like all the preparation you have to go through entertaining. I'd rather bring some fucking chips and some salsa and some fucking soda or beer to a party instead of having to entertain people. If I had a pool, maybe it would be a little bit better, but it would also depend. I think it depends on the layout of your house, how big your house is, your backyard. Nobody's gonna wanna be entertained in a backyard that doesn't have anything besides, mats for, rolling jujitsu and a bunch of punching bags hung up. So yeah, and a bunch of guitars on the wall. Yeah, I feel like I'm a hoarder. Oh well. Fuck you. Anyway, so that's a big thing. I want him to be able to interact. Hopefully this quarantine thing ends, or we can meet a family that, they're not afraid of the virus, and they will be able to come over and hang with us, and Joey could get some of that time. But that's also tough during this time too, because who are we meeting? I think it's just tough as an adult in general. I mean, I'm not, normally you probably meet people at work, meet people at the gym. Well, gym shut down, work's not shut down, but work is remote. So, I mean, where are we gonna meet people? Fucking the grocery store with our masks on? Yeah, I don't foresee that. We're gonna meet someone in the produce section arguing over who's got got this bunch of bananas. No, that's my tomato. I touched the tomato first. No, that's my avocado. Yeah. Anyway, so going back to that, even with that, I need to know from you, like DM me and tell me what you're doing to help your kid out. Throw some stuff my way so I can get some ideas. I need some help. No, I'm doing all right, like I said, right now, but it's gonna be an adventure for the remainder of the year. I don't think he's going back for the remainder of the year. I don't think they will take that chance. I think it's just it's gonna be too dangerous. And then, or I don't think it's too dangerous, but I also don't think any parent is going to want to chance it. So until they figure out this vaccine, we're going to be all stuck in our houses for a little bit. I've been out to some restaurants, hung out with some friends, like I mentioned, but the parties and hitting up the bars. Granted, I don't do that very often, but I do try to get out with my boys sometimes and cut it up. You can't forget about the people you came up with, and that's a big part of managing a relationship. And again, going back to the friends thing, some of these dudes I've known almost my whole life. So, but can't do anything like that right now. So, I mean, when is it gonna go back to normal? Like I mentioned before, I mean, is this our new normal? Are we gonna always be out seeing people in their masks and stuff? What's the precaution for the banks? I'm curious. I mean, I could roll up in there and be like, pull up my bandana. Yo, can I get $20 out of my account? I mean, before you rolled up into a bank with a bandana or a mask over your face, I mean, you were getting taken down. The panic button was getting called. People were hiding behind their desks. Yeah, you could have just been sick and wanted take a few dollars out of your account, but now it's the normal. So it's a pretty crazy thing. So anyway, I'm gonna leave you with I hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope you guys are staying healthy and keeping that immune system up. Make sure to be hitting those vitamins. I tell my wife all the time, hit those vitamins. You got to get them multivitamins in. You got to get those vitamin C, maybe that echinacea, vitamin D for sure. So if you're not getting outside a lot, you need to get that vitamin D in there. Drink yourself a lot of water because, well, if you're in Arizona, definitely drink yourself a lot of water, because if you don't, you're gonna die. Also, you make sure to drink yourself a lot of water, because it is going to boost your immune system as well. Get yourself up in there. Try to have that healthy diet. I know it's way harder when you're in quarantine, because all you want to do is cry and fucking eat potato chips and grub down on some cookies. By the way, shout out to Crumble Cookies. Our friend sent us some the other day for watching their dog, and fuck, man, it made me just yeah, a little graphic, but they were good. They were good. And yeah, we threw those down pretty hard. I don't really like the sugar cookie one. Oh, it was kind of shitty, but the rest of them were awesome. The chocolate chip, they had like a churro one, and I tasted the frosting and didn't even really like it. But once I threw down the cookie, oh shit, my stomach was in heaven. So But other than that, I think probably gonna sign out with you guys. I hope you guys have a great day and you guys enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys and post another podcast next week. We'll get together and chat about some other shit. All right. So this is Gregorio signing off. Peace out. Oh, actually, you know what? Before I go, let me mention you could hit me up on Instagram, Flocking Fathers, at Flocking Fathers. You can hit me up on Twitter at Flocking Fathers, and you could find me on Facebook, Flocking Fathers. So, just so you know, I need some help from you guys. I need you guys to, share the post, share the podcast, share, whether that be on YouTube or on SoundCloud, or wherever you're wanting to share it. Or whichever platform you're wanting to share it from. So share the podcast for me. Let's create this community a little bit, and help it out. So help a brother out. So that's what I'm asking of you and requesting of you guys. If you have suggestions for things I can do, ways I can put this together, or even want to help me a little bit, give me some suggestions. I'm using a Logic platform, and I'm just using my iPhone as far as video goes, and a condenser mic. So any suggestions, I'm always welcoming. So please feel free to send those my way. You guys take care. Have a good one again. Like I mentioned before, have a great weekend. Stay healthy. Hit those vitamins. Hit that water, and we'll see you again next week. Peace.